Hey there crewmates, how's it going? It's MiffedCrew here. My name is Luke and I'm so excited to be saying this. I'm even wearing my Five Nights at Freddy's Foxy t-shirt. But I am starting a behind the scenes series on how I make my Baby Foxy Five Nights at Freddy's animations. So this is going to be about how I start every Baby Foxy Five Nights at Freddy's animation. I will be covering the set of models that I have in every Baby Foxy video. I will also cover how I make the Five Nights at Freddy's characters look like babies. I will also cover my lighting setup as well when it comes to the animations. I will also quickly cover how I go about writing a script for my Baby Foxy animations so I know what the story is going to be. And I'll compare this with how I used to do it, which is when I just started animating without any script or story at all. This is just an overview. More detailed videos are to come. If there's something in particular you need answered, feel free to share it in the comments. Before we get started though, I'd like to quickly have a little speak to camera with the dedicated community that I have who still watch my content. I did a poll recently where I asked if people wanted to see the final results of the animations only, or they want to see how I make the animations as well. And most people actually said that they want to see how I make the animations. I think it would be a great way to keep the channel more active because animations take so long to make. So if this is a format that works, then I'll keep my channel active through these types of videos while I work on the next animation. With that said, let's get into this. Okay, so I'm going to start by opening up Source Filmmaker. That's probably pretty obvious, really. Okay, now that I've gotten Source Filmmaker loaded up, like you would probably think that I'll just create a new project when it comes to starting a new Baby Foxy video, and usually I don't. And the reason for that is because I've actually already set up all my characters and my scenes quite a lot of years ago, basically. So usually these days I just open up my latest project, like one of my latest projects, and I usually just make a new file out of that and then start making the videos from it. Let me show you exactly what I mean by that. So if I was to hit create and if I was to load up my map, it could take a while sometimes to actually let me do anything. Opening Source Filmmaker, be like waiting. It's gonna crash at this point, isn't it? Yeah, if I was to just load up the map that I usually use, in this case it is, it's been quite a while actually since I loaded it up. I can't actually remember. Freddy Fazbear. It's in the user mod, I know that because it's a guys mod map I use. And it's loading some more. Yay! And we're finally loaded up. So if I was to just fly into the map real quick, then this is the map that I actually use for all of my Baby Foxy animations, really. If I was to right click and hit other entities, then you will see even things like the chairs, the wall, the pizza, which I have to usually edit out because why would the wall be on the pizza? Things like that, really. However, you may notice that it looks a bit darker than usual and a bit emptier than usual if you're familiar with my Baby Foxy animations. That's what I was really trying to explain at the start. It's like I set up a certain amount of models, so like the pillows, some plushies, things like that already. So I usually just load up that file and I then make a new file out of it. So if I was to give you an example of this, if I was to go into open, file open, and if I was to load up, let's say my latest project. So at the time of recording this, my latest project was Baby Foxy Christmas. So if I was to load up my latest non-seasonal holiday, which video was that? Okay, that's Baby Foxy Chase is my latest non-seasonal holiday. So if I was to load up Baby Foxy Chase, then if I was to load up, let's say Project 1 for instance, and it takes a while to load as well. Might even crash in the meantime. Yeah, I've loaded up my latest non-seasonal video animation, and if I was to just go forward a little bit, I'm also going to make the camera brighter as well. In this particular project I was actually going for a bit of a darker tone, but I usually have the environment lights like all the way turned up, and that's controlled through the tone map scale slider right here underneath the camera settings. So if I was to just do that, and we can now get a proper look at what things are looking like. So yeah, like when I load up a project that I've already set up everything, it's like we have pillows on the stage, we have plushies in Pirates Cove, and most importantly of all, we had the baby animatronics. And the baby animatronics, they are basically just resized versions of the main Five Nights at Freddy's character. So this character right here is Foxy, and I literally just scaled his entire body down, and I took his neck and I made it bigger, really. And that's basically how I go about making the and that's how I basically start every project, really. It's like I load up a project file and then I just begin animating, really. Before I animate though, I usually do a save as, so I like save it as a different file somewhere. And when it comes to the Christmas videos, I have a similar setup for those as well. I have snowmen as part of the scenery, I have a Christmas tree, I have Waif around the clock, Waif in the middle of the stage. I also have some little random Christmas trees sitting on the table. I had these giant balls on the ceilings with red lights around them. And finally, I have all the characters with Christmas hats on them. Surprisingly enough, these little additions are enough to really add to my system, so it makes it a lot harder to animate with these additions in the scenes. So I usually only have the project be around like 45 to 50 seconds before doing a save as and continuing from where I led off. I do a similar thing with Halloween as well. It's mostly just the lighting change when I have the characters in the pizzeria on Halloween. A good example of this is in my Baby Foxy Scary Halloween animation. You can see the scenery go from its normal Baby Foxy lighting to its orangey Halloween lighting. I make the floor lighting completely invisible. I think it's been a while. One thing I always have when I load up a Halloween project is I have the same costumes that the characters wear each year, like Baby Foxy's Jacko mask and Baby's witch hat. If I had the Jacko animatronics in there as well, then I usually load up a project where I already have the Jackos as well, and it saves me the hassle of having to go through the process of making their eyes glow with lighting all over again. A similar thing for when I have the trick-or-treating in the neighborhood. They had their costumes, and this time I had them holding their buckets as well. And finally, I might have some characters standing around like Toy Bonnie, because Toy Bonnie is a character that they went knocking at the door for when they were trick-or-treating once. So why not keep Toy Bonnie and Baby Toy Bonnie around, just in case I need them for something. I also have some houses lit up as well, though I've also found myself just lighting these houses up as I go, so I guess I don't always have the houses pre-lit. No, some lights I have preset when it comes to loading up my Halloween projects. Other times I just do the lighting as I go. I also like to be considerate of what I'm going to need for my animation as well. So when it comes to actually like, it's like, so I have a shot here of Baby Foxy standing on his knees, for instance, but I also might want a shot of the baby's crawling, for instance. So I'll import a shot that I made where I just have a little crawling cycle of all the babies crawling. So I have Baby Foxy's crawling animation, I have Baby's crawling animation. You know, like all these things I have set up previously. So if I want to have the babies crawling, let's say, for instance, I'll then have them crawling. When it comes to my lighting setup, this project might not be the best example, but I think it should be okay, as I've actually turned the map brightness all the way up. When it comes to my lighting setup, you notice that my videos seem to look a little bit more colourful and vibrant when it comes to the default tone that the map comes with. And that is because of a few reasons. It's because I have a couple of lights set up here. So one light is literally just a light looking all the way upwards, I think. And this is basically a pink light. So if I was to toggle its disability, not disability, its visibility, I mean, then you will see that the ceiling is either pink or not pink, really. So pink, not pink, pink, not pink. Same goes with the blue light as well. That's facing, instead of upwards, it's now facing downwards. So if I was to toggle its visibility here, it would be not blue, blue, not blue, blue. Basically just like combine these two, really, and that's what gives it its little vibrant colours, I guess, so to speak. I actually initially did this because I wanted to make Baby Foxy bad impression, and this was the first ever video I was going to have baby versions of Baby and Ballora. So I was thinking, yeah, let's actually see if we can match the sister location colour theme is what I was going for. And because Baby became a popular character in my Five Nights at Freddy's animation, particularly with bad impression, that's actually my most viewed video at the time of recording this. 24 million views, is it, at the moment? Something like that. I forget. And it was like, okay, I guess people want to see more Baby then, so I kind of just stuck with this colour theme. And like I mentioned earlier as well, I always had the map brightness turned all the way up, so if I left it at default brightness, then things will look a lot darker. This does come with its advantages and disadvantages. So if I was to have this like all the way up, then if I was to add a light, it becomes a little bit more difficult to actually get it to not overexpose a character. And there is a very simple reason for that. The simple reason for that is because the map brightness is all the way up, so I had to lower the intensity of the lights, and then I have to lower the quadratic. I've never been able to read that properly. It's just another side that controls the brightness, so I had to like kind of like just lower that down really. That basically covers how I go about starting every new Baby Foxy project. The only thing I do want to cover is that, before I end off, is that every time I start an animation, before I even open Source Filmmaker, I usually write up a script and a story first of what the animation is gonna be about. It doesn't have to be a complete story from start to finish. I usually figure out how the story is going to evolve as I animate, really, because it's all well and good writing things down if it's only just blocks of text and you can't actually see the characters in action, so to speak, then you're going to have a hard time to evolve the story, basically. And that's why I kind of like just get a basic idea of what I want. Sometimes I start with the starting point and the ending point. Sometimes I start with the main scene and then figure out the start and the end scene around it. Things like that, really. However, I did actually used to do it that I didn't actually have any script at all whatsoever. Like, I literally used to just start up Source Filmmaker and start animating, and that's actually what happened with Baby Foxy Bad Impression, my most viewed video, is that I made the video. It's originally going to be like Blaw's dance lessons, and I was even thinking it could be called Meet the Sisters because it was the first time having sister location characters in it. But I just didn't really like the story that turned out to be when I actually animated the whole thing. So within a week, I was able to reanimate the entire video completely, which I don't even know how I did that. And animations usually take like 6 weeks to make. I don't know how I reanimated an entire video over a week. That's rare. I wish I could do it all the time. It would make my life a lot easier. But yeah, I just did that because I wasn't happy with the story that ended up happening, and I uploaded it, really. So yeah, I guess those are two different ways of going about making an animation. It's usually best, I feel, to write out a baseline at least of the story first and then start animating, but as past me has proven, you don't always need a script. You just need to start animating and see what story comes to mind, you know. And that's definitely the way that I used to do it. And I did it with so many of my older videos, honestly, like, no joke. But yeah, either way, that was pretty much all I wanted to cover now. Hopefully this is a format that people would like to see more of on the channel. Let me know how you found it. And like I mentioned at the start of the video as well, this video is an overview, so again, if there is something in particular that you need answers to, whether that's animating something in particular, animating a certain scene, or how to fix glitches like a character's arm going through a wall, then feel free to share in the comments below. And yeah, that's pretty much all for now, crewmates. Thank you for watching. It's MiffedCrew here. My name is Luke, and I'll be back with more videos coming soon. Goodbye, crewmates.